In the middle of May of 2020, 𝗘𝗾𝗂𝗶𝗽𝗺 and Mac Rumors told us that Apple was working on two lower-cost iPads. The 10.8-inch iPad, slated for the second half of 2020, and the iPad mini, that was to be between 8.5 inches and 9 inches for 2021. The current iPad mini is 7.9 inches, so this seems like a pretty big jump. But maybe the size of the tablet won't change as much as the screen-to-body ratio will. Now, according to John Prosser from Front Page Tech, FPT, 𝗘𝗾𝗃𝗺𝗃, if you couldn't tell, I'm a fan of Front Page Tech. Anyway, Prosser currently has a 77.8% accuracy rating from appletrack.org, and he has said that the new iPhones and iPad models are coming out this October. Usually new iPhones are released in September, but due to the 𝗘𝗾𝗃𝗺𝗃, as he calls it on Front Page Tech, you know, the thing going around the world, because of that, things had to be shifted. Journ says that one of the iPad models could be the iPad Air. Okay, next leak. Just a few days ago, 91 Mobiles leaked schematics for a 2020 iPad. These schematics show a 10.8-inch display surrounded by thin bezels just like the iPad Pro. This comes with Face ID, USB-C, dual speakers, and quad mics. I assume that with the USB-C port comes Apple Pencil 2 support. The Smart Connector is also moved from the side to the back. I assume that this means it should work with the iPad Pro keyboard case and the 2020 iPad Pro Magic keyboard case with a trackpad. 91 Mobiles says that these leaks are, quote, from a trusted source, end quote. And this leaker does have a history with leaking new designs. But the leaker also says that the new iPad Air will support Qi wireless charging, which would require a glass back. This kind of makes me wonder how credible this is. I don't imagine Apple would add this feature to a budget iPad and not the Pro earlier this year. And I don't see Apple adding inductive charging to the iPad anytime soon. Now this next one seems a little more trustworthy, but it still has some weird parts. On the 27th of August, Twitter user 𝗘𝗾𝗃𝗃𝗺, or @𝗘𝗾𝗃𝗊𝗃, I hope I'm saying that right, leaked the Quick Start Guide for the iPad Air 4. This shows that, like the last leak, the iPad Air 4 will have an all-screen design, but on this leak, there's no Face ID. Instead, it has Touch ID embedded in the Sleep-Wake button at the top of the device, which is now longer than on the iPad Pro. It has an HD front-facing FaceTime camera and a single camera on the back, just like the iPad Pro from 2018. But this one has no camera bump.
The leak also says that with the Smart Connector, it will work with, quote, the Magic Keyboard and other accessories. The Apple Pencil 2 will also work with this iPad and magnetically connect to the side, as well as that it will have USB-C.
They are still slating this iPad to be released in September. This mostly lines up with the leaks we've seen so far, like this one from mydrivers.com on the 19th of August. iPad Air will have 11-inch liquid retina display, A14 processor, USB-C, quad speakers, and the base model storage will start at 128 gigs, and the starting price of that will be $649. The current iPad Pro starts at $800, and the iPad Air starts at $500. So this would be a $150 raise in price, but I think it would be well worth it for the feature set that this leak gives. This leaker said that it is set to come out next March. So between the quad speakers and the release date, this leak has its differences with the other rumors. In other news, but also partly related, new rumors are confirming that the AirTags and the Apple Watch will be announced at the October event. John Prosser says that he believes the Apple Watch will be coming out in September, and 𝗘𝗾𝗃𝗃𝗺𝗃 reported on the 31st of August that, quote, according to Chinese supplier information, Apple seems to be preparing to announce the loss prevention tag, AirTag, at its online event of iPhone 12 and Apple Watch Series 6. that will be held later in October of 2020, end quote. I'm really excited for the AirTags because I use tile and would love for it to be made by Apple. I have been holding off on buying more tiles in hopes that AirTags would be released. Tiles use Bluetooth to keep track of your devices. So say you lose your keys or whatever, and someone with the Tile app on their phone walks by your keys. Their phone sends the location of the tile with end-to-end location information encryption, so that no one can use it to find you, you can only use it to find your lost item. Now imagine that system, except it's not just people with the app, but people with devices made by Apple. That is what AirTags are, and that is why I am so excited for them. As for the Apple Watch, we don't know what the upgrade is going to be, so it's probably safe to assume that it's going to be minor. Possibly minor enough to be a site refresh. Apple Watch stock on Apple.com is really low, which suggests that they may be getting ready to drop the Series 6 as a website refresh. According to Twitter user 𝗘𝗾𝗂𝗶𝗽𝗺𝗺's comment, based on this observation, quote, Series 6 is probably dropping soon, end quote. So to conclude, we're looking at an iPhone event moved to October where the iPad Air may be announced. The iPad Air is like a watered-down iPad Pro with a 10.8-inch screen surrounded by thin bezels, no home button, iPad Pro keyboard support, USB-C port, and Apple Pencil 2 support. That's about all I have for you. Have a nice day. Later.